Hi, today I'm going to talk about Black Clover, which is anime series based on the manga of the same name. And I think that the Black Clover is maybe the last shonen anime series of this type that were aired for a long period of time. If we look at the history of shonen, which is the genre for boys about 12 to 15 years old, then this genre developed in the beginning of 2000 with One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Hunter and Hunter, and other series. And when One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach were successful, examples of this trend, Hunter and Hunter was not so successful as an example, but this is a very famous, unique, and high-rated series. I watched Hunter and Hunter for some time, and it has the unique settings, but the author always had some problems with his health, so maybe from 2010, Hunter and Hunter were always on some hiatuses, and even now author tries to continue this series of manga, I mean, but his health is so poor that he already officially wrote the last chapter, the official ending for his series, for his manga, if he would if he died if he die before finishing this manga. So the problem with the Hunter and Hunter that the series were not logically concluded, because for the last 15 years there were not so many additional materials published for this manga. One Piece was quite successful, is quite successful, because the author creates this manga for the last 25 years, and he publishes every chapter each week, every new chapter each week. So the fans of this manga are quite lucky. Naruto was finished in 15 years, and Bleach was finished in about 12 or 15 years as well. So these mangas are quite lucky too, because they started as successful series, as successful mangas. They attracted lots of attention to themselves from the beginning, and they held this quality almost till the end. Of course, Naruto manga was equally let's say meaningful during all the series, and the grand final battle between these two friends and the white woman Kaguya, and then between these two friends Naruto and Sasuke, was the epic final for the whole series. With Bleach, it wasn't so cool because the last arc that of the manga that lasted for 3 years uh, was very low in the quality of the events and the overall material, because the first three arcs were the development of the characters, of the events, of the abilities of these characters, and the last I don't know, maybe 3 or 5 years of this manga were about the last arc, and this arc was interested only for the fans of this series, and they just read it to find out what would happen in the end. And even these animation studios who were creating ongoing anime based on this manga, they stopped the anime before the last arc. So anime wasn't completed, and the fans were waiting for the last season of this anime about 10 years, and now this last arc has its live anime adaptation, and these animators produce one season of 12 episodes per year. So the whole arc is divided into 4 such 12 episodes seasons, and there are two seasons were aired already, and the fans are waiting for the last 2 seasons. But these anime seasons were faithfully based on the last arc of Bleach, so they have the same flaws as the manga itself, and many critics say that it would be better if the animators just used the plot of the last arc, but changed some events and some characters, because lots of characters were not developed to the final stage during this final arc. Anyway, Naruto and Bleach were good shonen manga examples, and One Piece started before them, and it continues now, and maybe in 2 or 5 years One Piece will end. So this is like the last colossus of this shonen genre, and the best part about all this mangas, about all this anime stuff, that they were aired each week. Even if the half of the episode was the summary of the previous episodes, and the new material was shown in the last 10 minutes of each episode, this was like waiting your old friend when you wait for every weekend to watch this new episode on your favorite Naruto or Bleach or even One Piece. But but this era changed, and now most of the series are quite short anime series. Mostly the studios create the first episodes or the first seasons, about 12 episodes, sometimes 24 episodes, and then they drop the complete series because the quality of manga declines from the beginning to the end, and it doesn't worth it's not worth to animate all the series. So there are not so many series that lasts for more than 100 episodes in total, if we put together all the seasons that were aired. So One Piece, Naruto and Bleach, and then there were other stuff like Hunter x Hunter that was animated into 140 episodes, but without the ending, because of the reasons I said in the beginning. There was The Gray Man, something about the stuff with fantasy, with the guy who fought against some vampires or demons, but after 100 of episodes, the author went on indefinite hiatus, and he really never completed the series. There were a couple of successful examples, like Fairy Tail, which is not very famous among all the fans, but the author of the manga created for about 10, maybe 12 years this source material, and then the studios animated all the material into the anime, and they created 328 episodes, but they didn't went the way of Bleach or Naruto, when between the meaningful arcs based on the manga, the animators created the events on their own, with worse quality of animation and with not official plot in general. So the animators of the Fairy Tail, they went faithfully along the manga material. They put some additional filler arc that was cool with good animation, but they stopped after 175 episodes and went on some hiatus, waiting for the mangaka to write more source material. And maybe a year later, these animators created another 100 episodes, and then they just stopped for another hiatus, and a year later they finished the whole anime series with the next 50 episodes. So in general, this the Fairy Tail stuff is quite good because it has this 330 episodes, and they are based faithfully on the manga material, but they had this long period of pauses between the quite long animation series. So it's not the feeling when you watch from the beginning to the end each week during 10 years. and there was this Gintama animation series that were based on the manga. It was about some samurais of Edo period, and aliens came to Japan, and they kind of enslaved, conquered Japan with samurais, and they brought technologies. So it was kind of parody and comedy, because the samurais fought with their swords, and there were pistols and computers and spaceships. That was quite cool, and the manga was quite long, and it was published maybe for 10 or more years, but animation was kind of divided into small parts. Like the first season was about 200 episodes, and it was aired for 4 years. But then the next episodes, the next seasons were divided into big parts, like 50 episodes, and then small parts, like 13 episodes. And there were large time periods between these seasons, like about 2 years between one and the second season, and so on. So though the whole manga material was published, and there was was animated, and there was no real fillers inside this animation series, but this difference in time, this separation in time between the series kind of ruined this feeling of continuously watching from the from the beginning to the end. I can remember, for example, I can recall, for example, Pokemon stuff, when they produced steadily each week the new episode for 25 years. So if you started to watch Pokemon when you were 10 in 1997, then you stopped watching it at the age of 35, and you had the opportunity to watch one new episode every week throughout these 25 years of your life. But I think Pokemon is quite for small kids. So maybe after you turned 15, 5 years after the Pokemon started, you could drop watching all this stuff. But Naruto and Bleach, they had this feelings of kind of 17 years old guys. So you could watch it when you were 10, and then you could continue to watch this until you are 30. That's all right. That's all about the atmosphere of these feelings about all this stuff. Well, what else? There were kind of there are kind of the same materials, like Attack on Titan, which the manga was published for 10, even 12 years, but it's more about one chapter per month, not like in other series when the mangaka published one short chapter per week, but it was about long chapter with lots of events, but once in a month. And the animators used the same technique as with Gintama. They just divided the animation into seasons, and they produced the seasons every couple of years. So the first season was created in 2013 with 24 episodes, and the last season, which consisted of 2 movies about an hour length for each movie, it was aired 10 years later in 2023, and the second movie in 2024. So it's like you were waiting for the Attack on Titan the whole 10 years to watch it in the whole, but you had to wait for 2 years between this series. And the same goes with My Hero Academia, about about heroes with supernatural powers who went to this academia, and they fought against some evil guys. And this manga was published for about 10, 15, maybe 15 years, and the authors, or the animators for this manga, created consistent seasons of 24 episodes, not like with Attack on Titan or Gintama, when they first created 24 episodes, then 13 episodes, then again 13, and so on. Or in Gintama 250, 13, 50, again 13. With My Hero Academia, they created consistently for about 24 episodes for a season, and they created every new season, I think, each year, or maybe 2 years later. But that's alright, because they were consistent with this. And if you wait till the last episode, till the last season will be aired, maybe in 5 years, then you can put together all the seasons and then watch them as one long series without any breaks each week in weekends, and they will contain maybe 150 episodes in general. So that's alright, but you have to wait too long. In this case, Fullmetal Alchemist, that was aired for 64 consecutive weeks in 2010, and was based on the manga that was published for 10 years with a chapter per month. This Fullmetal Alchemist was the completed anime without any seasons, without any fillers, and it was quite long, more than a year, and not so long as 10 years in the running. So this Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the best examples of this type of long but not very long shonen animes. And what I wanted to say, that Black Clover was the last anime of such type, like Naruto, Bleach, because it started airing maybe 2 or 3 years after the manga was in the publishing, and animators created 170 episodes before they stopped for indefinite hiatus with this anime. They stopped because the mangaka at some period of time had health issues, and he just didn't produce any chapters for maybe half a year or maybe a year, and they had to create some fillers, during maybe 20 fillers that were close to the end of the anime, and then they used some chapters from this manga, and they found the logical point where they could stop before going to the next long season that would be based on the rest of this manga. So this is almost perfect stuff if I wanted to watch for 3 years consecutive in the row, each episode each weekend, but because of this hiatus, due to the mangaka's health, this was kind of ruined. And if the animators created the second and the last season of this Black Clover stuff, and this season would be, or maybe if this season were about 50 at least episodes, or maybe 100 episodes, that would be alright, because you can watch for 3 years the first season and then continue to watch for the second, for the next 2 years the last season. But I read the manga till the almost till the ongoing state, since the actions that were shown in the anime. And I read this manga somewhere in October maybe of the last year. And I stopped because there were about 30 chapters till the ongoing, and I was on the new arc, and I wanted to give the mangaka a chance to create more chapters, and then read them very quickly, maybe in two weekends, to get the feeling of this stuff. And now in May I checked this manga again, and I was surprised that there were no new chapters. Everything was the way I left this manga. And I checked with the anime news what was the reason for this delay in new chapters, and this mangaka again had health problems with himself or his family, and he stopped publishing new chapters. He moved to the magazine where he could publish one chapter in 3 months. This is the same as it was when he stopped maybe in 2000 publishing new chapters for about half a year or the whole year. And that's not very promising. I hope, as lots of fans hope, that he will be able to finish his manga quite logically, with the satisfying ending, with this last arc of his of work, because uh, uh, well, because in this case the animation studio will take all the source material and will create the second and the last season of this anime. But if he die of some health reasons, then this manga will be quite unfinished, the way Hunter and Hunter goes for the last 15 years. So what I was going to say is that the Black Clover was the last chance for shonen manga to create this continuous run over the years without doing too many fillers or too many delays between seasons. And due to the mangaka health, they just went on the infinite hiatus. So the hope for this last chance of going into this Naruto and Bleach feeling was completely ruined, and now there is no new mangas of this sort that goes successfully for a long period of time, and nothing at all with animes that are based on the mangas of such sort. So this is kind of frustrating. So frustrating, yeah. And there are a couple of options how to kind of artificially fill this gap and to get the feeling of this type. It is possible to take some other animes, not shonen, because all shonen animes now lost this quality of being long, being impressive, and okay, but there are animes of other genres, maybe like school comedy or something like that, that were quite interesting and successful on their own, and they were published as mangas for a long period of time. Not so long, but maybe 3 years, 5 years, and the individual seasons of anime were based on this manga and this series showed the whole manga material, like, let's say, Kaguya, Love is War, or something like that. That's a school anime about a boy and a girl who are, I don't know, maybe the best students at the school, and they kind of secretly love each other, but they're afraid to show themselves their feelings, and they create different events or something against each other. So, and this anime has quite a high rating about the plot, about the comedy itself. And the most important part, that the third and the last season of this anime was created maybe the last year, and everyone can take all these 3 seasons. Let's say each season is about 12 episodes, so there are 36 episodes in general, and I can watch these episodes as one long series, about 36 episodes each week per episode. So it's like 36 weeks of watching this series. And the first benefit is the first advantage is that I know that this series will be great. I won't be disappointed because everyone who watched this series agree that they're great. Second, this series are complete because they had all 3 seasons, and the manga finished, and all 3 seasons are based on this whole manga. Yeah. The only disadvantage of this approach is that this anime is not ongoing. So let's say I like to watch Naruto at some point, and I like it too much, so much that I want to watch the next episode as soon as I can, but I can't move forward in time. I have to wait till the next episode will be aired the next week. So I'll just wait for the next week, each time waiting for the next episode. With this, Kaguya Love is War, I need to put myself into some borders, because if this is so great as the people say, I can't restrict myself from watching, let's say, 10 episodes in a row somewhere on the weekend, because that's so great. But I need to put lots of energy to create this schedule and watch only 1 episode per week. It's not like the conditions that were created from outside when they air 1 episode each next week. This is the conditions that I need to create for myself, and that's kind of difficult. And these conditions, inner conditions, maybe diminish, make the satisfaction from this anime series less. But it's much better than just watch some random stuff that goes for the first season, and then it will be dropped and stopped in animation after this first season, or maybe after the last season, because the manga will die, or the rating will become so low that no animation studio will be willing to create the animation on this manga. So yeah, now is the era when there is no so long continuously running through the year mangas that you can watch every week, enjoy it every week, and wait for the next episode during during the next 3 or 5 years of your life. So you have to find your way to create these conditions for yourself and enjoy the animes that were already created, and they are already worth watching, but you are quite successful not to watch. You were quite lucky because you didn't watch them before, so they will be kind of a fresh air for you, as you really want when you try to watch something just to ease your mind, free your mind out of your everyday thoughts. So this is my kind of review on continuously airing animes that are not available now, and on the situation about the animes that are published in seasons for a long period of time. So that's all for today.